Harp on Sports, the bar with you here as we get ready to wind down the month of March. I had some audio difficulties on my YouTube Live earlier, so I'm doing another one. Just had a short in one of the mic cords. It happens. So we're good to go now, and we are ready to rock and roll now. And the fact that there's a short in the mic cord, doesn't matter. We're ready to roll. So, to reiterate and go back to where I was, I'm going to start from the beginning here. I've talked about the coronavirus a lot. I think it interweaves with sports. I think when America does get back to work and we get headed in the right direction, the first thing that people are going to rally behind is sports. It happened. It happens. Happened after World War II. It happened Gulf War, Whitney Houston national anthem. It happened after 9/11, Mike Piazza, New York Mets home run. People will rally around baseball. People will rally around football. People will rally around basketball. That will be the rallying cry. We'll find sports again. And I'm not one to overstate, but it'll be very important. It'll be essential. Why? Well, people are going to be afraid for a while to go out. You can watch sports at home. You can be entertained at home. You can. How often do we hear people say, I don't even go to football games anymore. I get a much better view on my TV. There you go. I get a much better view on my computer. There you go. There you go. So that's the importance of that as it ties to the coronavirus and sports and how it feels. And do we overstate sports a lot? Yeah, I think we do. It's tough for a sportscaster to say, but I think we do. I think we do overstate it sometimes. But I think sometimes we don't give it the credit, the medicine, the anecdote that it is. So, where to begin? And I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know the light at the end of the tunnel when it turns from a freight train to actually a beam of light. I do know this, though. It is going to get ugly here before it gets any better. I've talked about the coronavirus a lot, but now a little cause and effect and what each sports league should be thinking about doing and doing going forward. I'm going to start off with the NFL because they are the first one on this list. The fact that an alleged memo went out and Roger Goodell's telling everybody to be quiet about the NFL draft, that the NFL draft's going to happen, be quiet, we're still going to run it as April, that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. If you do it, you're going to do it alone. Going to do it in a hotel room by yourself and the draft picks and the pageantry. I don't understand why you just can't move it back to June 1st. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know what the rush is. Got to get guys back in the weight room, and they're not going to be able to do any of this stuff. It's wishful thinking. The NFL has been criticized for things over the years. The domestic violence stance. Yeah, they kind of looked around when it came to that one. The players kneeling. Roger Goodell was caught in a vice on that one. He was. He was caught in a vice on that one. This one is one that everyone can see a mile away. And, you have doctor after doctor come out time and time again and say, this is going to take a long time. This is going to take a while. This is going to take a while. And people that have no clue what they're doing or how they do things continue to make their own assessments and judgments. When I'm a sportscaster, I'm giving my opinion about what this team should do and what this team should do. I'm not going to get anybody killed. Anybody that sits here and tells you that this is what we got to get everybody back to work, they're playing roulette. They don't care. So glad that they're not in charge of anything important involving people's lives. The NFL, there's no way the draft's going to be at the end of April. There's no way. And this is one of these you kind of look around and go, I told you so. I told you so. But mark it down right here. What is it? March 26th, 27th, you lose track of dates now. I'm telling you right now, there is no way on earth the NFL draft takes place at the end of April. What they should do, they should push it back to June. You're going to lose OTAs, you're going to lose minicamps. So what? So what? Drafts in June. 2 weeks later, you have rookie camps. Mandatory veterans camp with the rookies. Everybody comes together for a week or two in early July. The preseason, you're sitting around in the NFL, you shrink it, you change it, you do whatever you need to do. Everybody complains, the preseason's worthless. The preseason's worthless. Not going to be worthless now, is it? Not going to be worthless now. You got to get a lot done. You got to get a lot done. And I get a kick out of so much of this stuff because you hear people say, well, it's just too complex. You got to put all this stuff and put all this stuff in. Just too complex of an offense, and you got to get all these things in. The Tennessee Titans went to the AFC Championship game by handing the ball off to the same guy 30 times a game. Okay. So let's just pump the brakes on that one. The NFL is going to be the league that really has to make the least amount of adjustments, but they still need to move the draft to June. Check NFL. And amazing, everything else pivots from here after the NFL. It's baseball's big chance. I'm going to get to that in a moment. The NBA, what does the NBA do? You push everything back if you're the NBA. You do. You push everything back. I think you need about 6 to 8 games before the postseason hits. You can't just go right into the postseason. You can't. So I would use June 1st as a target for the NBA. June 1st. All right, here we go. 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks of games. 6 to 8 games. Get everybody in a rhythm. 3 games a week. Game, 2 days off. Game, 2 days off. And then game, day off, game, day off. And here comes the postseason. The first 2 rounds of the postseason in the NBA, best of 5. Best of 5 every other day. Game 1, day off. Game 2, day off. Game 3, day off. Game 4, day off. Game 5, day off. At the most, it's what, 9 days? At the most. 9 days for a game best of 5 series. First round, best of 5. Second round, best of 5. Conference finals, best of 7. NBA finals, best of 7. Your NBA finals are probably going to end sometime in mid-July. The Olympics take place in August. The Dream Team won a gold medal in August, in Barcelona and in Atlanta. We were okay with it. We were okay with watching that. That's the next step. That's where I would put that. So the NBA, 6 to 8 game regular season. Every one of these leagues should eye June 1st. Every single one of these leagues should eye June 1st as a way to start back up. You can sit here and say April 13th Easter weekend or May 1st if you want. I'm just being realistic. I'm being realistic from every single thing I've heard from every doctor. I know what your gut tells you, some of you, and I know that you hear people say, and I've been having just it's amazing how many people allow their arrogance and confidence how many people allow their arrogance and confidence that makes them feel that they can make medical decisions. It's like, this is what we need to do. The economy. You're not an economist. Not one economist says we should get back to work April 13th. None. None. Not one medical professional says that's a realistic date. None. Well, that's May 1st. I think you just be smart about it. June 1st. Boom. June 1st. Boom. It's the date I would circle. Watch. I'm going to be close. I'll be pretty close when it's all said and done. Again, 41 years old, been to the puppet shows. Cuba Gooding Jr. said, Jerry Maguire, seen the strings. I know how this works. I figured this out by now. So that's the NBA and that's the NFL. Golf, what golf should do, and I think golf's got an opportunity to really captivate a nation here. Golf should leave the U.S. Open where it is. Now, the PGA Championship for years and years and years was in mid-August, right? Well, you're going to have to put it back there. You move the PGA Championship back to late August. There are no Olympics this year. Remember, the PGA Championship was moved to avoid the Olympics, to get more guys to play in the Olympics. So you take the PGA Championship, you move it back to August. The U.S. Open stays in mid-June. The Open Championship stays in late July. And the PGA Championship is in mid-August. Yeah, you're going to have the NBA Finals in late July. You're going to have a bunch of stuff. Oh, my God. You mean I get the NBA Finals in late July? I get Major League Baseball, which I'm going to get to in a second. I get a bunch of golf, and I get a bunch of football? Oh, gee. How are we going to handle all this? I was looking at the calendar today. You know what day July 4th is? It's a Saturday. Golf were wise, and sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Last year they were brilliant to move the Masters up early in the day to avoid the storm. And it worked out because I got to play the Masters twice. Tiger Woods wins the green jacket, wins the Masters again. It's amazing. Sometimes golf's a little finicky and a little screwy when it comes to things. The playoffs for all 4 majors are different. I know sometimes it's unique, but I love West Coast golf. I love watching championships end in prime time. I think it's great. I love when they pair studs together and marquee guys together out of the gate. I think it's great. I think some tournaments now finally get it where you wear the whole entire final round. I don't care if a guy's 20 shots off the lead. If it's 1 o'clock and it's raining on a Sunday in a major and Phil Mickelson's out there and he's 19 shots back, at least Phil Mickelson's out there. So there's things that golf does that I love, things that golf does that I think is ridiculous. Here's where golf has a chance. Oh, does golf have a chance here? Here's what I would do if I were golf. Leave the U.S. Open alone, move the PGA Championship back to August just this year. So PGA Championship, August 17th, 20th, whatever. That weekend, the Open Championship, you don't touch it. The U.S. Open, you don't touch it. Still mid-June. And you play the Masters July 4th weekend. July 4th is Saturday. So the Masters tees off on Thursday, July 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. July 4th weekend for the Masters. So the Masters, that's what golf should do. Play the Masters July 4th weekend. Is it going to be weird? Yeah, it's a weird year. This is weird. Going to the grocery store and not seeing any cereal, not any meat, not any toilet paper is bizarre. It's bizarre. It's strange. So, okay, the Masters is going to be played on July 4th weekend. The Indy 500 got moved back to August. That's just smart. And remember, the Indianapolis 500 is when? It's Memorial Day weekend. That's the last weekend of May. Roger Penske's a smart man. He sees, okay, look, okay, I'm going to move. I'm not even going to mess with this. Move it back. Because if I wait until mid-May and move it, I got a mess. I'm going to move it right now. Well, what if everybody's healthy in 2 weeks? You go ahead and you go ahead and play that deck. That's like staying on 8 in blackjack. I'll stay. Okay. You bet. Mm-hmm. Scored a touchdown to start a football game, getting up 7-0 with 12 minutes to go in the first quarter and saying, it's over. That's what that is. So that's what golf should do. Baseball's got the best opportunity of anybody. It does. Baseball has a gigantic chance. Now, to become America's pastime and number one sport again? No. But to completely take a hold of Americana again. I was looking at this as well. You eliminate April and May. Say on average you play 25 games a month. It's right around there, right? A little bit more than that, 25, 26 games a month. Well, April and May you have a ton of rainouts anyway. So that's why you see so many doubleheaders in June, July, August as everything gets pushed back. You're never going to get 162 games in. You're never going to get 144 games in as you did 25 years ago in the strike shortened season when they came back. Your target should be what? Well, 162. If you lose 50 games, that gets you 112. I think you may get around 115, 120. You can get 115, 120. You bet. Is it ideal? No. But here's what baseball should do. You're coming off a couple of postseasons where World Series were stolen. Or at least received a nudge. This is what I would do. If I were baseball, Monday's off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, single games. Single games. Now, you're going to have to play a lot of day games on Thursday if you're flying out for that weekend. It's going to get convoluted at times. You could play Mondays and then have Thursday off as a travel day, depending on how it lays itself out. You're going to have to totally adjust the schedule here. But what I would do is I would have Monday off or Thursday off. So let's just give you an example of Monday off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can do 2-game set, 2-game set, 4-game set, whatever you want to do. Saturday and Sunday should be doubleheaders no matter what. Doubleheaders on Saturday and Sunday. 1, 5 o'clock, 1, 5 o'clock. The whole league. All of Major League Baseball. All of it. All of it. Doubleheaders every Saturday and every Sunday in baseball. You can still play 9 innings. I know the 7-inning stuff. You can still play 9 innings. So that the pitching staff's going to be exhausted. You're right. That's why you expand the rosters to 30 the whole year. The whole year you expand the rosters to 30 people. This is baseball's big chance. Big chance to get back in the good graces. It's a chance to capture that 8 to 18-year-old fan base that you're going to want to grow here coming up. My generation, I still love baseball. I love it a lot. It's my favorite sport growing up. It was. As a broadcaster, your favorite sport becomes football because that's what you're the most interested in. And depending on where I live and where I work, that sport becomes infinitely more important. It does. I've lived in the SEC land for a decade now. Oh, by the way, start a new job here in a week. I'll still be in SEC land. But where? You'll find out soon enough. Yeah, I'll still be in SEC land. I look at it like this. As you put this together, and you're trying to grow that audience and trying to build that audience. Baseball is one of my favorite sports. My favorite sports when I played as a kid all growing up. Played all the way through high school. Played football too, I just wasn't any good at football. With baseball, you've almost lost an entire generation. Those between the ages of 20 and 30, you've kind of lost. So you need to build that next generation up. How do you do it? And the NBA lost an entire generation there for a while. Michael Jordan went away. You lost a little bit of a generation there for a while. Kobe, LeBron brought it back. LeBron's carrying it. Now you have a whole new generation that's in love with Kevin Durant, that's in love with Anthony Davis. You have a whole new generation that adores the NBA, which is great. So baseball's got to figure that out. I would allow kids to eat free all season. I would. Every kid tickets, every kid under the age of 12, you set the limit, baseball. Free soda pop, free hot dog. Now, you can't go in there with a trough, and every kid gets a hot dog and a soda pop. You have an opportunity here. Oh, my gosh. Well, revenue's going to be down, and you want to be smart about this? If baseball were wise and smart about this, they've got the biggest opportunity to come out of this and I don't want to say look like heroes, but come out of this and just look amazing and fantastic. Why? It's going to be the first thing we really get. It's going to be the first thing that we get. It's going to be the first thing that we can grab. Now, the NBA playoffs, they'll figure all that out. And I mentioned golf moving around, but football, you're not going to get that till August. Baseball's going to have June and July to grab us. June and July to grab us. What are they going to do? That's what they should do. Expand the rosters to 30, 110 to 115 game season. And you have Monday or Thursday off. Say you have Monday off, fine. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3-game set. Friday, single game. However you want to do it. Saturday and Sunday doubleheaders. 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock. 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Expand the rosters to 30. Got plenty of pitching then. 5, 6 more pitchers, right? 7, depending on what you want to do with that roster. Well, there are going to be more home runs, and the pitching's not going to be as good, and scoring will be up, and what an awful thing. What an awful thing. You've got to stop the bleeding. You worry about the scar later. And that's what baseball needs to do. Stop the bleeding. You want to get back in the good graces of everybody? Kids eat free all year, 12 and under. Free soda pop, free Coke, every game. Free hot dog. Doubleheader Saturday, doubleheader Sunday. Oh, one more wrench in this or one more little cookie. You pay the price, you get double on Saturday and Sunday. You get both doubleheaders. It's not a split gate where 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, so baseball can make twice as much money. You pay a true day-night doubleheader, a true doubleheader. Game 1 plays 1 o'clock. You don't kick everybody out of the stadium afterwards. You play the first game. You come back a half hour later. You can stay all day at the ballpark. Hot dog, Coke. Every kid. That's what baseball should do. You play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games a week. You can get around 120 games in, 115 games in. That's what baseball should do. Now, NASCAR and some other sports are going to have to move some things around as well, but I wanted to focus on those for you. A little coronavirus visualization down the line. The NFL, I have no idea what you're doing. A memo goes out. We're still going to have the draft in late April. There's no way that's going to happen. No way. Be smart about it. Do it the first weekend in June. That way you can still evaluate all the players. You can still do all of these things. You draft them. Let's say you do the draft in late April and the nation's still on lockdown, still shut down. Now what? Now what? We got to get everybody together and learn the playbook and get all this stuff done. If college football can get it done in a month, the NFL, if they have the draft in June, can get it done 30 days June, 30 days, 31 days July, 31 days August. You get 100 days before the first game starts. Got to get them. Yeah, those extra 4 weeks. Come on, be smart about this. The NFL needs to move the draft back to June. Everything else pretty much stays the same, except the difference is the postseason or the preseason is going to matter this year. You need to learn about these players. You're actually going to get real competition. You're not going to have OTAs at 3 weeks. You're not going to have mandatory, rookie camp, mandatory mini camp. You're not going to have all those things. You're just not. I love that aspect. That's what the NFL should do. Again, basketball, starting June 1st. That's the target date. That's a realistic target date. Basketball, 6 to 8 games, 3 games back-to-back weeks. Postseason hits. First 2 rounds are best of 5. Conference finals, best of 7. NBA finals, best of 7. You're going to end sometime in mid-July. It's a good thing. Yeah, the season's going to be pushed back a little bit. So what? So I get to watch the NBA finals July 14th, July 17th. We watch the Olympics in August. So what? No Olympics this year. Gets to my next thing, golf. Golf leaves the U.S. Open where it is in the middle of June. The PGA Championship goes back to August. Remember, it was moved for the Olympics originally. A couple of years ago, they moved it for the Olympics. U.S. Open mid-June. Open Championship stays in late July. PGA Championships in the middle of August. And you play the Masters July 4th weekend. And baseball, their big chance. Doubleheaders every Saturday and Sunday. Expand the roster to 30. Expand it in September anyway. Just use the whole year, expand it. The whole year, expand it. And I know there's some negotiations. We got to figure out this, got to figure out this. You keep everything at 9 innings. Every Saturday and Sunday is a true day-night doubleheader. Not a split gate, day-night. You pay, you get both games. Kids, 12 and under, eat free all year. Hot dog pop every game. Trying to get the youth back in. Here's your chance. Because when sports start up again, people are going to be salivating. Salivating. And baseball is going to be on every single night. The NBA postseason will be too. Baseball, you're going to be there, and when the NBA postseason ends, baseball is going to continue. Talk about grabbing. You're going to be competing. You're going to be competing with the NBA playoffs. Going to be competing with golf. Baseball trying to compete with the NFL. That's why it's already a mess when you're trying to do that anyway. Those are the things that I would do. So, I want to share with you a little coronavirus visualization, how sports come out of this. In baseball, you have a gigantic chance in front of you. Yes, you did see this. My new Darth Vader coffee mug. New office starting this upcoming Friday. Need a new mug. This bad boy came in the mail today, so. It's ridiculous. I deserve that. So shame on me. All right. Harp on Sports. Here you go. Harp on Sports. At Harp on Sports Twitter. At Harp on Sports Instagram. Follow us. Facebook, Harp on Sports, the page. Let's see here. Harp on Sports, the podcast. Available at harponsports.com. I make this really, really easy. Harponsports.com has launched. You can listen to every single podcast that we have up and running. Podcast on this is up and running. Coronavirus visualization, baseball's big chance. You can check out the podcast, harponsports.com. You can download it. Buzzsprout is where we host it. It's on iTunes. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify. You can get Harp on Sports all over the place. All over the place. Instagram, at Harp on Sports. Twitter, at Harp on Sports. Like, follow, share. Share, follow, like. All of those things. All of those things. Trying to be as realistic with you as possible when it comes to a variety of things. You're not going to get a show, and there's other shows out there, and you consume them, and you consume mine. I'm always going to be honest with you. Always be honest with you. Like, follow, share, follow, like. Let me know you did that. The next time I see you, I'll buy you a beer. If you say, hey, look, Seth, I liked, I shared, I followed your page. Look, here it is. Harp on Sports, Instagram, Twitter. You show me that next time you see me out and about? Well, a couple more weeks of it anyway. Well, anytime you see me, I'll be coming back for certain games every now and then. Just another hint? There you go. Okay, this has been Harp on Sports, the bar. We'll drop another one on Sunday. In the meantime, be safe, be smart, take care of yourself. Well, we lost over 400 Americans today. At the time we shot this, we've lost over 400 Americans today. Just be smart. Don't be reckless. Don't be reckless with other people's lives. And I heard some great advice, and it's true. Act like you have it. Act like you have the coronavirus. Act like you have it. Wash your hands. Take care of yourself. It's the best way to stop it from preventing it. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Sunday. This has been Harp on Sports on the Bar. Take care, everyone.